What do you do when you have 32 chickens inside your brooder? You gotta build a chicken tractor. Let's get building. So we are going to build the John Suskovich stress-free chicken tractor. We were able to borrow a booklet from some friends at Carrot Top Farm, and thank you, Rob and Amy. Appreciate that. And we are going to build us our stress-free chicken tractor, and that's kind of what we're going to do in this video. But I'm not going to talk too much. Some of this just be a little bit of showing off what we're doing and how we're building it. But that's kind of it. Cut the half laps, you need to adjust your circular saw to 3/4 of an inch because you only want to take half of the wood, of course. And so we're struggling here trying to get this thing adjusted properly. And then once I started cutting them, I said, wait a minute, I've got a table saw to do this. So we pulled all the wood, went back to the table saw, set it up, and made just about a breeze out of this. A lot easier than doing that. Same thing, set your depth to 3/4 of an inch. And then flip it over. So you need to mark it and do everything the right way, but it cut down a lot of my time. Okay, so I kind of messed up a little bit here on this part. I don't know why, but I actually cut some extra half laps for C. I do have extra wood, but it's not going to hurt to leave it there. And honestly, I might be able to make something out of that later on. So I kind of actually dig that I did that, but it's an accident. But when you're putting this together, I was confused on what we're actually doing here. So it's just an easy connection on the corners. That's it. I mean, it's actually pretty easy. Half lap joint, make it really strong. I really dig them. Okay, I'm gonna help myself here, but also maybe you that might have been trying to build this chicken tractor. So, okay, so this is right here, this big long one. This is part F, and it has two half lap joints. Okay, then you've got your door. The problem is F and G do not match up. look here, the half lap doesn't actually go the entire way. Now, I'm actually okay with that, and I think I'm going to leave it, but it still leaves quite a bit of room there, versus if it was just half an inch longer over here on the cut of G. But is it worth the extra work? I actually don't think I'm going to cut another piece, but G needs to actually be a little longer. That's an inch longer. So G is supposed to be 1 foot 8¼ inches, or 3/8. I'm sorry, 1 foot 8 3/8 of an inch is what John's book has. But you actually need to go 1 inch past there. The other things I'm trying to figure out with this door is, do the half laps go on the inside or the outside? On every other single half lap, you're actually putting it on the inside. Don't look at that one. But these ones have the half lap on the inside. The way that his design looks in the book that we had, looks like that should be on the outside, but I think I'm going to turn it inside out so that it looks prettier. Okay, so we're putting the uprights, the roof system, and one of the things we're changing is John's plan has you putting this down here, drilling holes through the pieces of metal into the wood, but I tell you what, why not drill a hole into the wood? It makes it a lot flusher, a lot cleaner. So, taking a 1-inch spade bit, drill a hole. I'm going about the depth of the actual spade portion of the bit. And then you literally just put your piece of conduit in there. And as you can see, I can't even pull that out one-handed. So that's a heck of a lot faster and cleaner looking for your uprights. And your dimensions, we went just inside here, and then 39 inches from the end here, and 39 inches from that end to here. So that gives you pretty much the same dimensions as he had in his book. Well, as you can see, this is definitely strong enough to hold, although she doesn't very much. But now we've got the 4 pieces up, and the spine going all the way down. And I will not lie, but this is not an exact 45 up here on these. It's more of a curve once you have to, whether or not you're doing my little trick, putting these inside, or doing it the other way. But now, as you can see, we've got the top up, and it is pretty much fully assembled. Now I need to put the door on, finish that, and then drill for the wheels and start netting it. Up here at the front at the door, I can definitely see why White House on the Hill created his so that it will be up and down, because it's a lot shorter here than I thought it would be to go to that distance. So since I got it here, I actually might do his little idea as well and make my door taller, but we'll see. John Suskovich stress-free chicken tractor, which caused a little bit of stress. Some of the reasons that it caused me stress was building that doorway, and a couple of those measurements just weren't correct. But honestly, it is a really, really good design. Really happy with this design, and so far the chickens are very happy with it. Some of the things I did change though is I took my tarp and went a different direction. It calls for the 10 by 10 and then 14 to go all the way down, but I wanted to give cross breeze, so I do not have the tarp going all the way down to the ground, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. My other chicken tractor is pretty much exposed that way as well, and I don't see any problems. I did do with the wheels the right way, and I think they're going to work out that way. Right now I'm leaving them on because my grass is actually really not that level, of course, where it's at. Some of the other things that really do work is the little trough. I made mine out of a different size piping than what he calls for, but that's due to the fact that this is what I had. And right now I'm just reusing their hanging water from their brooder. So the chickens seem to love it. I've got the barrel bolt on the outside, and once you go in, I did put a hook for once it's closed, that you can hook it closed, because they do want to escape, but these chickens seem to love it. So I would call it a stress-free. All right, I do not have my total costs tallied up yet. I do actually plan on putting a roosting bar or two in here though, because I noticed that my other meat birds do actually like to roost at night. So I'm going to be putting a roosting bar in here. I've just got to figure out if I'm just going to do one full length down all the way down the end, and then what I'm going to do for a water. But I did a couple different changes, one of them with the poles, going and how they went down into the wood. I did the chicken wire just a little bit different. Yes, I did put 1-inch chicken wire all the way around the bottom. So the 2-foot hardware cloth that he calls for, go ahead and use it if that's what you want to use. He does also have some with chicken wire. The reason I use the chicken wire is my yard is completely fenced already. Really, I'm keeping them in, and kind of my dogs from kind of going and saying hi. But other than that, I do not feel the need for the hardware cloth on there right now. Now, I'm going to be building some next year in the spring that are going to be outside of my fence, on the land that does not have a fencing. And so there I probably will put hardware cloth on the bottom. But on this one, I did not feel that I needed it whatsoever. But that's totally up to you. So raising meat birds is kind of fun so far. These are a couple weeks out. I believe they're going to be 5 weeks right now. So they did stay in the brooder a week longer than I thought. But due to money coming in and time, I was not able to get them out at the 3 to 4 weeks that I wanted to. But what they are out now. They are growing. They are loving life. Plenty of sun today. As soon as I put them out, they loved all of the bugs and scratching and everything that goes with it. So that's kind of it. A couple weeks out. My review on this tractor so far, from moving it from where I built it to its current position, is it's a little heavy, but it's definitely doable. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We're going to cook some dinner now and go out from there. So from our hidden acre to you, God bless. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below, comment. I'll also try to leave a list of the products that I did use, because I did use a couple things that are a little different and finding them maybe. But once again, thank you. God bless. Have a great day.